What's up, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Say It, Own It. I'm your host, Jeff Bell, back again with another episode of All NFL Talk. There's been a lot going on in the league since the last time we talked. Dak signs the franchise tag, Cam Newton's with the Patriots, Mahomes signs a massive $503 million deal. So there's a lot to get into, but before we get started, just a reminder to follow me on Twitter at journalismwjeff and check out my website at journalismwjeff.com. And don't forget to hit the subscription button and the bell so you get a notification every time a new episode drops. So let's dive right into it. Reigning Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes just signed the richest contract in sports history. With 2 years remaining on his rookie deal, the QB signed a 10-year extension worth up to $503 million that'll keep him with the team for the next 12 seasons. In that contract, $63 million is guaranteed at signing and $141 million is guaranteed in total. Now, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that Patrick Mahomes is worth the money. Since he's been in the league, no one has thrown more touchdown passes, no one has thrown for more passing yards. He's shown that he can fight through injury and come back from injury. He's shown that he can come back from postseason deficits. He's shown that he can win Super Bowl MVP, league MVP. He's been the most dominant player in the NFL since he's entered the league. Now, on top of that, he does not get in any trouble off of the field. So he's also putting fans in seats. He's become a role model for the league. He has people buying his jersey, people buying his wigs. The Chiefs and the league will profit from Patrick Mahomes for so many years to come, and they were smart to lock him up for as long as they did. But a few concerns I have is that of all the quarterbacks in the past that have signed 10-year extensions, none of them have made it to the end of that contract. I'd love to see Patrick Mahomes make the full $503 million. He's 24 years old. I'm 24 years old. To see a guy that rich, that young, that's amazing. But I don't know if he'll be able to do it. Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick, Drew Bledsoe, Dante Culpepper, and Brett Favre have never seen the end of those 10-year contracts that they signed. They either ended their careers or ended up moving to play for another team. Now, I don't see Mahomes not making it to the end of that deal, but I think a big part in that is, will Andy Reid be there for those full 10 seasons? Andy Reid is in his 60s. I'm not sure that he'll be coaching that long. And because of that, I'm not sure if Mahomes will want to stay and honor that contract for that long. I'm sure it sounds good now because he's just won a Super Bowl. He won the MVP. He's doing so great. But he has to realize that what will it look like without Andy Reid? If Eric Bieniemy takes over in a few years, will this offense and this engine still run the same? With Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, it'll be great, but I don't know that it'll be as great as it is with Andy Reid. Additionally, I want to commend Mahomes for his maturity. You don't see very often that guys that are 24 years old, as young as Mahomes is, and have accomplished as much as he did, are willing to commit to something for 10 years, not knowing the future. A lot of people in our generation at that age kind of get bored and complacent. And that is a worry I do have, that he may get bored. He's done everything he can possibly do in the league. I don't know that he can continue to find the energy and the effort. We see it in basketball with the Warriors going to the championship every year. They got tired, they got bored, they got complacent. I'm afraid that it could happen to Mahomes. He's young, he's done it all, and if he does not continue to find ways to motivate himself, maybe he gets bored. Maybe he wants a change of scenery. That's yet to be seen. But he posted a video on Twitter, and in the end of the video, he says, "We're chasing a dynasty." Now, that's very interesting that he's chasing a dynasty, right? Because who do we know in the AFC that's always been a dynasty? The Patriots. And now they kind of like dethroned the Patriots and are the new Patriots. Will they be a dynasty? And everybody has these different definitions of dynasty. In the league, it's really hard to become a dynasty. I mean, the Seahawks were kind of close, but they didn't win back-to-back. They lost when Russell threw that interception at the goal line. So the way I define a dynasty is that you go to multiple Super Bowls and you win more than you lose, like the Patriots have done. They went to 9, they won 6. That's a dynasty. And they did it over 20 years. So think about that. There's plenty of seasons where they didn't win the Super Bowl, but that's okay because they won more than they lost. So I consider that a dynasty. I can see the Chiefs going to 4 Super Bowls and winning 3. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is 4-1 in the postseason, and I don't see anything in the AFC at this moment that'll stop him from becoming even more successful than he already is. His only competitors really in the AFC are Lamar Jackson. And if that offense gets figured out, which it kind of did when Kaepernick was running that offense in San Francisco. I don't know how effective Lamar in that offense will be. So other than that, Patrick Mahomes is running unopposed. Yeah, there's some up-and-coming talent like Joe Burrow. Maybe he pans out, or Tua pans out. But that's all unforeseen. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, maybe he lands in the AFC. That's all unforeseen. Other than those guys really becoming successful, I don't see anybody. I don't even see anybody in his own division that'll really challenge him. We don't know what Justin Herbert will be. We don't really know what Drew Lock will be, although he's shown some promising things. And as far as Vegas goes, we still don't know if they even trust their quarterback. So Mahomes has a lot of opportunity to win his division and win his division with a bye in the playoffs. So really, he plays a game, then plays the Ravens, and then it's the Super Bowl. So I don't really see anything slowing down this engine, and they really could become the next dynasty as long as Patrick Mahomes is healthy. But additionally, that Andy Reid sticks with the team for as long as he possibly can. Those two things happen. There's nothing stopping this team. They have to draft well, of course, because they can't keep all their pieces. But I mean, they've shown the ability to do so. So I see this team being very good for a very long time. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see, man. Let's take this in. I don't want us to take for granted. Sometimes we take greatness for granted. There's a lot of like LeBron haters. There's a lot of Brady haters. But this is greatness. And we're seeing something that we've never seen before in Patrick Mahomes in just 2 seasons. So let's take this in. Let's celebrate it. Let's be excited, man. Patrick Mahomes just turned around the whole league, and it's going to be fun to watch for a long time. So my guy, quarterback Dak Prescott, finally signed the franchise tag, sticking him with the Cowboys for the next year for $31.4 million. Now, if you're a Cowboys fan and you know Dak Prescott, there's no surprise that he was going to show up for camp, and they were going to figure some sort of deal out. Him signing the tag was a little surprising. I was hoping that they would come together for a deal. But the two sides have until July 15th to work out a long-term deal. Otherwise, Dak will be playing on that 1-year deal, and we'll revisit the contract a year later. Ultimately, I think this is a good thing for both sides. Honestly, I felt like Jerry Jones was kind of arranging a marriage with McCarthy and Dak that now he can't do so. McCarthy gets 1 year with Dak to see if he really likes this quarterback and to see if he wants to move on with him in the future. Because I have a feeling if it doesn't go well, the Cowboys would choose McCarthy over Dak only because McCarthy just signed a contract. So he's here for the next 3 years, whether we like it or not. Additionally, with Dak Prescott, the salary cap might go down. He will be making more money by signing the franchise tag than he would if he signed a long-term deal. As a matter of fact, if he signed a long-term deal right now, he'd probably be making $27, $29 million in the next 2 years. By signing a franchise tag, he makes $31 million this year and $38 million if he signs it again next year. That's more than Patrick Mahomes is making the next 2 seasons. So Dak can really benefit from this, but he also gets a chance to showcase why he's worth the money. So playing through the season will be very smart for him because the talent around him, I mean, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Zeke, you got Amari, you got Gallup. Hopefully Jarwin steps up into the spotlight this year. The team around him is really, really good. He kept his offensive coordinator, and I feel like McCarthy is a more competent head coach than Jason Garrett was. So this team has a lot of potential, and I know they always have potential. But Dak threw for a lot of yards last year when they had potential. The only thing he has to do now is actually win those games, those close games that we lost, those one-possession games. He has to be the factor in why we win those games instead of not being involved in why we lose those games. And I think Dak can do it. I think he will do it. I think this is what defines Dak Prescott. He's always been a leader. He's never been afraid. He steps onto the scene. He bursted onto the scene, and he took control of the offense immediately. We saw it in his rookie year, in his first playoff game, man. He took control of the offense even when they were down, brought them back, gave them a lead late in the game. So I have no doubt in my mind Dak is up for the challenge, and Dak can live up to what he's supposed to be for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, as far as the Cowboys go, if it doesn't work out, I don't see where they go from here. So a year goes by, and the Cowboys miss the playoffs. Do you not want to try it again? I mean, it's McCarthy's first year off of a year off. You might want to try it again with Dak, but then you got to pay that $38 million where the salary cap either went down or it doesn't go up because of the coronavirus. And so now we have to wonder, where do we go from here? You don't want to let Dak go, and then what are your other options? Because the Cowboys will not be having a high draft pick, and unless they're ready to trade some of their top end talent that's cost them a lot of money. Like maybe you trade DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't know how hot he'll be on the market coming off a 5-sack season, but if you were to do so to get a high draft pick, that's very unlikely that they would do that. So considering the fact that Dak's contract is up and then all you have is Andy Dalton, who also contract will be up, I don't see what other choice they have but to get this long-term deal done. 5-year deal, 4-year deal is the dispute. Cowboys want 5, Dak wants 4. If I'm the Cowboys, I say if this is your guy, you do the 4-year deal. If he plays well this season, then you do what he wants, give him the 4-year deal, and then we'll revisit it later. And if you really believe in him, then he should get you a Super Bowl. And then you have no problem with it being a 4-year deal and then re-upping after that. The Cowboys usually say deadlines make deals, but I don't see this one happening this week for July 5th deadline. So July 15th deadline. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But I know Dak, and Dak is going to put it aside and he's going to come ready to play. And the Cowboys better make some noise this year, man, or they'll be hearing it from the rest of the league like they hear it every single year. But when you add more talent like CeeDee Lamb, who's possibly the best receiver in this deep draft class, I mean, the pressure's on. You got Zeke in the backfield. You got everything on offense that you need. Defense, you got some new pieces on defense, but you're missing some defensive backs. But I feel like nobody's going to give them that excuse. It's time to make something happen. They can't go 8-8. They can't miss the playoffs. If you make the playoffs, that's perfectly fine. You make the playoffs, if you lose, that's perfectly fine. You miss the playoffs, there will be all hell to play. And you know in Dallas, people love to make fun of them Cowboys. T.O. used to say it back when he was with us. They love to hate him. And that's what they do. They love to hate the Cowboys. So they better make some noise this year. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very, very rough offseason. So we'll see how it plays out. Finally, some of the biggest news this offseason, Cam Newton signed with the Patriots. I'm so damn happy for Cam, man. It's well deserved. But this is Say It, Own It, so I do got to own what I said in my last video, that the Patriots would not sign Cam Newton. I was completely wrong there. They took the chance on him. I never thought it was that he wouldn't be signed by the Patriots because of how he is on the field or that his play style didn't fit their scheme. For me, it was always he was too flashy of a player for the Bill Belichick type of guy. So I was wrong. And now Cam is a Patriot, and I can't wait to see how it works. My only issue with him signing there is that defense got worse, believe it or not. Stephon Gilmore is still there. The McCourty brothers are still there. But they lost Jamie Collins. They lost Kyle Van Noy. They lost Danny Shelton. So Bill Belichick is going to have to put together an even better coaching job on defense than he did last year. Offensively, they still are missing plenty of weapons. N'Keal Harry, hopefully he takes a step up, but that's to be seen. They have Mohamed Sanu, but he didn't play very well when he came over last year. They have a trio of running backs with Burkhead, Jamie White, and Sony Michel. So we'll see how that works, but I know that Cam has never had dominant players on offense, and that's why he was never super successful, except for his 2015 season when he was just insane and out of this world. But he's not that guy anymore. He's still a very suitable quarterback, but he's not that guy anymore. So the fact that they have no pieces makes me a little nervous to how well they be. Vegas still has them winning the division. They have them at 9.5 wins. They have the Bills at 9 wins. So they have them winning the division over the Bills, which is interesting to me because the Bills are bringing everything back. But that just goes to show that Bill Belichick runs that division. And adding Cam Newton puts them in a much better position than Jarrett Stidham. Now, I know people are saying that there's still a quarterback battle that's going to be happening between the two. But if Cam is healthy, because I think they still don't know if he's fully healthy. If Cam is healthy, that's his job, point blank period. A 1-year show me deal, and we'll see what Cam is made of. But I'll tell you this, Cam Newton is pissed off and he's ready to work. And Bill Belichick wants to win. You put those together, I feel like they can do some damage. I don't see them really winning or going far in the playoffs, but I see them winning that division easily. That division, there's no real contest unless the Bills take a step up, which I don't see them doing. I see them either being the same or dropping a few games because I don't see them at 10-6 again and making it to the playoffs or winning that division. The Jets, I mean, Sam Darnold, and that's it. So they have a lot of work to do. I don't believe in Adam Gase. I don't know if anybody else believes in Adam Gase. I don't even know if Sam Darnold believes in Adam Gase. And on top of that, then you have the Dolphins, who Ryan Fitzpatrick is 3-9 against Belichick, and Tua probably won't even see the field this season. So that division is still up for grabs, and I'm going to take the coach and the GM that has been running that division for the last 20 years. I see no reason to stray away from that. The only problem is, man, they got to get Cam some weapons, and I'm sure they will. I mean, they tried it last year with AB, and AB is on his apology tour. AB is on his workout, get right mindset type of thing right now. So maybe they take a chance on AB again, or maybe they find a way to trade for somebody else. Maybe they trade for Odell, or they might add a tight end, and Njoku is looking for a trade. That might be a good move. So if they can add an offensive piece, I believe in Coach Belichick enough to coach up that defense with Stephon Gilmore and the McCourty twins back there holding it down. They can still make some things happen. Like I said, it's just about getting some pieces on offense. But I'm so damn happy for Cam, man. There's no better situation to be with than a Hall of Fame coach and a weak division. For him to really make a name for himself and show that he's still here to play. And you see Cam on Instagram posting a lot of videos. I think he's posted more videos this offseason since he signed with the Patriots than Tom Brady has posted in any offseason with the Patriots in the last 20 years. So it's interesting to see how the two will mesh. I guarantee you that they will butt heads on some things. Maybe Bill Belichick tells them to take it easy a little bit on some of the videos. But then again, maybe Bill Belichick lightens up in his last few years coaching. Maybe he lightens up. Maybe he changes his style of coaching. I know when I was in high school, I had a high school coach who was very, very strict, very military-like. We wear black solid socks, black solid colored everything. We started to win a couple championships, and he got more lenient. We did a couple whiteouts, and my coach was a lot nicer. So maybe Bill Belichick is starting to turn things around, maybe not switch the culture entirely, but understand that there can be some fun in this football thing outside of just winning football games. So I hope the two work out very well, man. I'm so damn happy for Cam, like I said. And it'll be fun to see who wins that division and what they do in the playoffs if Cam Newton makes it to the playoffs. So keep your eyes on that, man. And Cam, we wish you the best of luck. So that's all I have for y'all today, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. And stay tuned for episode 3 of Say It, Own It. Hopefully I don't have anything to own up to, and that I'm just right on everything I said this week, man. So thank you for tuning in, and keep an eye out for the next video. I'm out.